Our guest today will be Chris Hogan, who is a writer and editor for 27 Outs Baseball. 27 Outs Baseball, which you can find was voted as the top minor league baseball podcast and news network with great player guests. They can be heard on TuneIn Radio, and of course, Chris does a lot of writing and editing for them. We're going to welcome him in right now. Chris, welcome to the open mic. I understand you've been covering the Red Sox for quite some time, and really want to get your insight about this Boston Red Sox team because, like I mentioned in the open, 2 years ago this team won a World Series. The year before that they were in last place, and now last year they're in last place. So for a lot of Red Sox fans, for a lot of people of the Red Sox Nation, what's up with the Red Sox? I mean, what is it going to take to get this team back to a more consistent level of playing baseball at the major league level?
I think it's going to be the starting pitching this year. I think, the Red Sox are always going to score runs, as we know. Their offense did tail a little bit last year. It's obviously not compared to the last few years when they were in the World Series, like you just mentioned. But I really think it's the pitching right now. I think the bullpen will be fine, if the season started today. But obviously, a lot of Red Sox fans all over social media and everything are concerned, are we going to get Cole Hamels? Are we going to get Cliff Lee? Obviously, he's hurt now. But, Joe Kelly had a minor injury. Justin Masterson's control's been a little shaky. He's only about 85 to 88 on his fastball, which he was throwing only about 94, 95, just about 2 years ago. So the back end of the rotation, I think, is a little bit of a question mark. I'm not really too concerned about Clay Buchholz or Porcello and Miley. I think they'll still be solid. They're still obviously missing that number one, but there's been a lot of mixed reviews today. You really need to get a Hamels or just wait to the trade deadline to get a Cueto maybe or someone. I think they'll be fine. But like I said, this is a wide open division right now. It's so hard to tell. Everyone's got their flaws. The Blue Jays with the closing position, the Yankees with Tanaka and Sabathia, and then obviously the Rays and Orioles being young teams as well. So I think everything's it's a wide open division. I can't really say the favor yet, but if you ask me, the biggest question is probably the Red Sox starting pitching out of everything right now.
Yeah, you make some great points right there talking about the division. The AL East has really been, when you really look at this AL East, for the last few years, people would say, well, what's the best division in baseball, maybe in the American League? And you would easily say the AL East. You can't say that this year. You look around the American League, you can say the West may be the best division right now, considering how good the Angels are, the A's, even though they have lost a couple players from last year. The Mariners look like they're going to be a contender. So you can say maybe the West is now the better division in the American League. The East, not so much. It really could be a crapshoot to see who can come out and win this division. It's going to be anybody's division for that matter. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to pitching. And when I look at the Red Sox starting rotation, Porcello is a guy who had a very good year last year, better first half of the year than second half. But I always look at him as more as the number 3 starter, more than a opening day starter or an eighth. And I think he'll be fine. I think he'll do just fine for the Red Sox this year, but I think he needs some more help. I'm not a big fan of Buchholz or Masterson. Those guys have been up and down in their careers. When you look more in depth at this Red Sox rotation, where could the Red Sox get some help? I mean, who in this rotation could really step up and maybe surprise some people this season?
I think it's going to be Wade Miley. I really think so. The Red Sox wouldn't have given a 3-year deal before the spring training started and buy out 1 year of free agency if they weren't confident in him. I know that he kind of, tailed off a little bit last year, but that was mostly due to a bad defense in Arizona, except for Gregorius and Goldschmidt was out for a while. So some of their best defenders were kind of, missed some times or in the minor leagues, and that's what kind of derailed him a little bit, having a bad defense. That's why he had a mid-4 ERA compared to, kind of a mid-3 ERA in his first couple of years in 12 and 13. I really think he can be a guy, and I'm not trying to say this, but I think he could be the number 1 starter by the end of the year. If they decide, by June that, I don't know, it depends on where they are, but I really think he's probably gonna be the 3rd starter to start the year. Probably gonna obviously be Buchholz or Porcello to start the year, opening day. I really think Miley with his ground balls, plus his strikeout rate's getting a lot better, and he's working with a couple guys like Christian Vasquez and Ryan Hannigan who are known for framing pitchers. That's become a big in today's game. And also being a good backup as well defensively. So I really think Miley's going to have a better defense, obviously with Pedroia back and Nap Lee pretty solid, and obviously Pablo's a solid defender. So I think that'll be good, but I also think, Masterson I really can't count. Obviously I know it's only a couple spring training starts, but when the Red Sox signed him, I kind of envisioned him as a long relief, maybe a sixth, seventh inning guy with some possible spot starts like he did in 2008 in his first year with the Red Sox. Like I said, I think it's going to be mildly, and I wouldn't be surprised come June, July if they're still into it. They need to get another starter for that stretch run.